welcome to SVG-TV News for Monday, December 9th, 2019. I am Yvette Boynes with the details. 6 Vincentians were among 26 officers who have successfully completed training under the Regional Security Training Institute Basic Law Enforcement Course 2019, along with 23 other officers from other member states. The officers underwent rigorous physical and comprehensive theoretical training here and in Barbados. Larissa Pugsley-Kidd has more about the graduation ceremony held last Friday at the Police Training School.
The 26 officers who successfully completed the RSS training course are now better equipped to carry out their duties after weeks of intense training which started in September this year. These officers, which include 6 Vincentians, graduated on Friday at a ceremony held at the Police Station Training School at New Montrose. Some of the courses covered under the training program were map reading, internal security, disaster management, field craft, first aid, tactics and shooting. One of the trainers, Warrant Officer Class 2 Azard Weeks, noted that a major component of the course had to do with physical training and weapon handling.
Were exposed to the techniques of handling the M16 rifle and 9mm pistol. They were assessed to confirm that they are competent to fire these weapons on the range. During the range exercises, pistol shooting and M16 rifle elementary and advanced shooting were done. Members of the course were also introduced to the .45mm pistol, the .38mm revolver and shotgun.
Officer Weeks urged the graduates to reflect on their accomplishments and to not forget the skills learned. Deputy Executive Director of the Regional Security System, Graham Archer, reminded the officers of what it means to be part of the regional security system.
Part of the RSS mechanism. You are the RSS, not RSS headquarters. That is just the coordinating body. But you are part and parcel of the RSS system itself. And you must always see yourselves that way, advocate yourself that way, and work for the good of all of us in the region. Thank you.
The RSS Course 2019 was funded by the International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Agency, U.S. Embassy in Barbados, and its director, Janet Jurek, emphasized the need to continue with such courses in the region.
This one are a significant way Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean can stay prepared for evolving security challenges. As mentioned before, while this course may be called basic, it's anything but. It is a critical foundation for law enforcement in this region.
Minister of National Security Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves outlined the role of the RSS and its importance to member states.
In the prevention and interdiction of the traffic in illegal narcotic drugs, in national emergencies, search and rescue, immigration control, fisheries protection, customs and excise, maritime policing duties, natural and other disasters.
At Friday's graduation ceremony, 2 officers with the RSVG police force copped 2 awards. The award for Best Mapping was captured by Police Constable Sylvanus Johnson, and for Best Rifle Shot, Delwyn Delpeche. Jamal Edwards, a Vincentian representing the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force, was awarded Best Student and was also awarded the Most Physical Male Officer.
I say, no more, I will deal with that, Sergeant Charles remarks, and the deal, drop and give me 100 push-ups. Just memories of the wonderful course and the great friends we have made. My fellow student, big engine!
For SVG-TV News, Larissa Pugsley-Kidd.
SVG was among the 6 member countries of the Regional Security System, the RSS, at the request of the Dominican authorities to dispatch law enforcement personnel to Dominica leading up to last Friday's general election. The officers were sent in to help maintain law and order, with mounting unrest in the run-up to Friday's general election, with protesters blocking roads and setting obstacles on fire, calling for electoral reform. At Friday's graduation ceremony for the officers who have successfully completed the RSS training course, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves defended his government's decision in joining the other RSS member states to send troops to Dominica.
There was an assessment that there's a threat to security in Dominica, and there's a threat to democratic institutions. The professional staff of the RSS, in consultation with the chairman of the RSS, and the chairmanship rotates, and the consultation with the chiefs of police, commissioners of police, and the ministers of national security or prime minister, say, well, they're asking for so many policemen and women. And when you go to Dominica, you go there to help to keep the peace, keep order, and do the things what every police person by law can do.
PM Gonsalves did not state how many officers were deployed. However, he said that as a member of the RSS, SVG is obligated to support another member state whose security is under threat, and in the case of Dominica, the country's security was under threat.
Which are jaundiced. But you cannot play games with the issue of national security and threats or potential threats to our democratic institutions. You can't play games with them. Because I tell you this, the first obligation of any state is to provide security within a system of laws passed by a democratic parliament. If you don't have that, you have chaos, and life becomes nasty, brutish, and short. And it's the law of the jungle and the survival of the fittest.
PM Gonsalves noted that SVG deployed troops to Dominica after Maria devastated the island in 2017, and sending troops to keep the peace for the elections was no different.
So I hear the talk that why is it that Ralph Gonsalves sent St. Vincent and the Grenadines police to Dominica? That I send police to help scare it to win election. Eh? I don't know who people voting for. And what St. Vincent police or Grenada police or St. Lucia or Barbados police have to do in Dominica business? Well, your parliament say we have something to do with it. One for all and all for one. But I asked those people this question. What about 2 years ago, when you had this devastating hurricane which blew down the whole of Dominica?
Chief Executive Officer of the SVG Tourism Authority, Glenn Beach, said the country's tourism industry continues to grow and there is ongoing work to make the industry the best it can be. Beach was speaking with SVG-TV News about the inaugural call of the Celebrity Silhouette cruise ship to Port Kingstown today. The ship came in at full capacity with over 2,000 passengers from North America and the United Kingdom. Beach said so far the reviews from the captain and passengers have been positive.
Inaugural calls are always important. I mean, you're welcoming a new ship. First time they've been here, we went on and exchanged plaques with them today. So the captain and the chief chef and the hotel manager, all of them, it was the first time they've been here. Judging from what they've seen, they like it, and we're hoping that when their guests go back on board, they have nothing but great things to report on St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I think for this cruise ship season, they have about 2 or 3 more calls, 2 more before they go into dry dock, and then 1 more after dry dock. I think their next visit here is something like November 30th or something like that. So we continue to push the cruise ship industry like every other part of the tourism business, and to get the most out of it as the destination continues to grow, and as more attention is paid to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It makes our jobs a bit easier, because then there's an awareness of what the product is, an awareness of what the product has to offer. So keep on trucking ahead, so to speak.
Right. 2 other ships are expected to make inaugural calls to the destination. Beach said the authority will continue to play a role in ensuring that standards are maintained to help facilitate the growth of the industry.
Word of mouth is always the best way of marketing, so the passengers hopefully have good things to say, and the crew is also very important in terms of word of mouth with the company on a whole, to say, you know what, St. Vincent and the Grenadines was a good destination, we should probably make more calls there next year. So look forward to bigger and better things. This season is not looking too bad so far, always room for improvement. Last year I think we had more calls to Beckway than to St. Vincent. This year I think it's more calls to St. Vincent than to Beckway. That is not really of importance though. Once they come into St. Vincent and the Grenadines, that's what really counts, and we give them the best experience. And that's why we continue, why our standards play such an important role, and continue to push that with the tour operators, tour guides, taxi drivers, hoteliers, everybody within the industry, that it is so important to be at our best when these things happen and not take anything for granted.
Despite the growth in the industry, getting ships to come during the off-season remains a challenge even for larger cruise destinations, and Beach believes a multi-island partnership can bear fruit in this regard.
We go out there, we promote the destination, we speak to the cruise lines to see if they're able to make it this far south, because that, and I've said this before, that's one of the issues with a destination like St. Vincent and the Grenadines, is that we're so far south. Most of these ships, their home port is Florida, somewhere in Florida, or Puerto Rico, or even a bit further up north. Some of them might be a bit further up north, so it's difficult. And you might say, but that's not the case because Barbados is there. But Barbados has been in this industry a lot longer than we have. They've put their footprint there a lot faster than we did. When we were focusing mainly on agriculture and so on, Barbados tourism was their aspect. So they're a lot more experienced in it, and experience might not even be the right word. They have a lot more longevity in it, and like everything else in marketing, it's best to be first on the scene. So it becomes difficult, but Barbados is also suffering from the off-season also in terms of wanting to get more ships in. And so if we can put a package together between ourselves, Barbados, St. Lucia, and one other destination, then we think we have something unique that we can offer them.
A 40-year-old man of Beira is expected to challenge Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves for the North Central Windward seat at the next general elections on the ticket of the opposition New Democratic Party, NDP. A news release from the NDP stated that Chieftain Neptune was unanimously nominated on Saturday to contest the seat, and that his nomination will be taken before the party's Central Committee for final ramification, at which time Neptune would officially become the candidate for the NDP. Neptune recently graduated from the University of the West Indies St. Augustine campus, Trinidad, with a Bachelor's of Science in Criminology and Criminal Justice and a minor in Political Science and International Relations. The NDP said that Neptune has received the full support of the party's last candidate in North Central Windward, former educator Kenroy Johnson. In his acceptance remarks, Neptune said he was honored and happy to have been nominated and was overwhelmed at the support from the people of North Central Windward. Neptune's nomination will now be taken to the Central Committee of the NDP for final ratification. The St. Vincent and the Grenadines Community College Performing Arts Society captured the best production for the 2019 National Theatre Arts Festival. Spirit of the Festival and the Best Actress was awarded to Jacinta Edwards of the Regis Theatre Alliance. Best Original Playwright and Best Actress in Supporting Role was awarded to Nisha Hope. Best Actresses and Best Actress and Best Actor were awarded to 2 students of the Community College Performing Arts Society. The Best Director went to David Darkey Williams of Urban Expression. Speaking at the award ceremony, Minister of Sport and Culture Cecil Sesmaki said the annual Performing Arts Festival provides participating theatre groups and individuals the opportunity to promote SVG's culture and develop their talent.
And as we bring more persons to the destination, as more flights come in from the international cities, we want to have the opportunity to expose them to the culture of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and this is one of the ways in which we can do it. We have established a cultural officer that is responsible for development of the professional and business aspect of theatre arts and culture generally. That is Mr. Rodney Small. He has an assistant, and in so doing we'll have these persons and other persons from the ministry work along with these groups to further develop their skills in theatre and the arts. This evening I want to congratulate all of the individuals and groups.
Minister Mackey said the festival is also important to the country's tourism sector.
Groups participating this year, and we also ran alongside our national festival the schools aspect of drama, and therefore we had over 300 persons involved in that process over the past couple of weeks. Now this is a very important part of the development of the cultural sector, because we cannot just focus on one aspect of culture and think that we are doing enough. This gives the persons who are involved in theatre the opportunity not only to perform in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but also to travel regionally and be involved in theatre as well. And it gives us the opportunity to bring persons from the region to appear on stage so that we can look at what is happening in the other islands and also use that as a springboard.
Representative of the main sponsor Bank of SVG, Nandi Morgan, congratulated all of the participating groups, noting that over the 6-week period the groups performed credibly well. However, there is still room for development.
I thank you, the audience, for supporting the groups. Of course, we would have liked to see more persons turning out to look at the productions, but nevertheless, from my observation, it would appear that persons who attended would have enjoyed the performances thoroughly. I would have been able to attend 5 of the 6 performances, and I can assure you the groups performed credibly. Of course, there are areas for development, and that will come over time with training workshops and practice. Now, the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines has been sponsoring the festival for 13 years now. And we have built a relationship, a very good relationship with the Ministry of Culture. You can therefore look forward to our continued contribution towards the further development of the festival and arts in general.
With the Christmas season now upon us, lecturer at the Division of Technical Vocational Education at the SVG Community College, Mishka Edwards, says there are many avenues through which farmers can earn some extra cash for the season. At a recently held session, Edwards educated farmers on the many ways they can add value to their products to capitalize on sales during the season.
Any sort of research. Today I was just telling my students about sorrel sauce, something that we can actually do, because Vincentians, we always adopt different cultures. I mean, we're celebrating Thanksgiving. Could you believe that? That's not something that we normally celebrate. We are our worst enemy. But at the same time, because we are celebrating things like Thanksgiving and Halloween, it creates an opportunity for a market for us to tap into, because you have to focus on the trends. When you focus on the trends, then you can be able to know what product to produce, right? So I was telling my students today, seeing that everybody wants to start celebrating Thanksgiving in St. Vincent, one of the things that is closer to cranberry sauce is sorrel sauce. So why not a student create a sorrel sauce for the market, tap into the hotels or restaurants who are producing, have hosting these Thanksgiving dinner as a way to market their product, that product.
Drying and dehydration are simple value-added techniques which can be applied to fruits and other food products, and Edward said these simple techniques can also be used to create new products for the season.
Simple value addition techniques. Simple value addition techniques are things such as dehydrating. So you dehydrate the fruits into chips. The ground provision into chips, and you could ground it into flour. You can dehydrate fruits. Within a recent, I don't know how much y'all shop at Massey, but last week I went to Massey and I see dehydrated mango, but it was imported. We have so much mango here, but they brought in dehydrated mango, dehydrated pawpaw, dehydrated pineapple for the people them who's going to bake for Christmas. But we have all these fruits here and we don't dehydrate any. So simple value addition techniques, we have dehydration, preservation by salting, heating, sugar, alcohol, freezing. These are simple. We can do our own ham. Salting, we're doing cornfish. I mean, cornfish is something that is not that popular like long ago. Growing up, I grew up eating cornfish. You can hardly find anybody doing cornfish now. And the few individuals you find doing cornfish, they're selling it for $16 and $17 a pound.
The lecturer said while SVG lacks a processing plant, farmers can start small and grow their business.
Because you don't know about the different technologies, and also we have poor infrastructure. We have no processing facility that you can actually leave and go spend on this. Let's say we're going to make coconut oil, we go to a processing facility, make coconut oil, and then return home. We have no access to any sort of these facilities. But we must begin somewhere. So start where you are. Start with your kitchen. Just start there, start producing small, and you will grow from there. Whatever income you have, you keep adding, and then you may be able to extend after.